very pleasure to be here. It's an honor actually because you are one of my legends in the laparoscopy and surgery. It's a very honor to accept your invitation. So thank you very much. I'm a Brazilian urologist. I'm 43 right now. I did a very traditional path in my medical formation, like medical graduation and 3 years of general surgery and 3 years of urology and my fellowship in robotic and Uro Oncology in one of the biggest institutions of cancer center in Latin America, called Acecamago Cancer Center. And as soon as I finished my graduation, I was hired as a urology assistant. And I've been working in Uro Oncology since the day one. So this is what I do. And most of my practice today is in Uro Oncology. And this talk is mostly to share with you some what I did. Let me record here. What I did to build a kind of an asset, a digital asset. There is your digital persona, professional persona. How did I handle this throughout the last decade? How what I learned in doing this. And so let me share my share just a second. Are you seeing my?
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
Okay, so my talk is about social media and digital marketing in urologists. We'll talk about limits and perspectives and talk about what I did in the last 10 years. So the point is that the patient's behave has changed in the last 2 decades. Mostly because of the revolution. So patients are looking for their doctors like they're looking for their airplane tickets, like the hotel, and they are comparing. They want to read reviews. They want to see your CV, where you work. So, of course, the other types of validations are still important, like medical referrals, friends, families, and this is in the traditional press. So, but the point is, patients are behaving differently when when they look for their doctors, and the behavior is changing in a way that they are gathering more data about their disease and their conditions with wearables, and all of it has been integrated in many different platforms. So the world is more digital than it was before, and so we as the doctors we have to adapt. And how could we construct and build relevant and construct authority in this new era? So the way that we see and give assistance to our patients has changed as well. Like telemedicine in Brazil was telemedicine before the pandemic was not allowed, and now it's completely okay. You do and this kind of interaction with patients. So this is another change that we are facing. So, and as long with that, we have many different platforms like Google, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, WhatsApp, and our website. So how could we feed appropriately and adapt the language for each different platform? So how can we do that? So the point is, and the answer that most of people say is, I don't have time. So I just have time to assist my patients. So this is the standard and the default answer. I don't have time to do this. I'm a doctor. I have a traditional career, and I don't have time to, making dances and TikTok. So, but it's not about this. And if this is right, if time is the problem, how could you explain that? These two individuals have the same 24 hours in each day, and how do they have completely different results? It's because Elon Musk has learned how to manage time. So this is the most important aspect, time management. And so every time that I'm going to answer a question about what do you think about digital media, And I always give back with another question. So how organized are you? How about of your time, how much of your time you dedicated to organize your content production? So this is very important. So imagine your picture like a digital asset. So this is what you want your patients seeing about you, what kind of image you want to project. So this kind of attitude must be completely intentional. You need to have a strategy to do that and discuss this with your team. It doesn't matter if you have a team of just you or a team of 10 people around you. So the point is, and in order to conciliate medical assistance and studying medical development and content production to our patients, we need to have a very good brain. And the answer for that is building a second brain. What does it mean? What is building a second brain? So our brain wasn't designed to store a lot of content. So you need to have a trustable system where you can put all of this information, and when you decided to produce a content, you are, right ready right now and without procrastination. So building a second brain is very important, because if you rely only on inspiration about how what you're going to say, what you're going to record, what kind of content you're going to produce, you're probably going to procrastinate most of the time, and you're not going to do what you want. So this is my first tip. The three pillars that I think are important to all of us that are trying to start this in this endeavor. First of all, one book, Getting Things Done. It's Getting Things Done is a best-selling book. It's a method developed by David Allen, that is an American guy who trained most of the top executives in America. And this guy developed a method that you can capture all the input that you get and in an inbox, and then you categorize all of these in actions and projects, something that you have to delegate, and something that you have to do in a specific moment in a specific context. So it's very important having a method. So I strongly recommend this book. The second is building a second brain. So where are you going to store and all of this information? So there is a method for that. And what the third book is Warren Buffett. What does Warren Buffett has to digital marketing? Everything, because digital marketing, it's about compounding. The same concept that we have in finance, we could apply in digital marketing, because you are building your authority over the decades. So you are not chasing likes and clicks. You need to understand that you are constructing your authority throughout your career. So, and the fourth book is the basic the understanding about how the internet works, like how Google ranking information. So very basic concepts are very important in order to start building your digital asset. So this is the summary of the most important points that I'm going to talk to you. So my personal introduction, the evolution in the digital world, building authority, effective strategies, ethical and professional limits, future trends, challenges and opportunities, practical tips in the end, how I do it in my daily practice. I'm going to show you, and my closing thoughts. So a brief personal introduction, I already told you, but 2005 graduated medical school, 2006 I did the military service, 2007 2009 general surgery, 2010 2013 urology, 2013 to 14 a fellowship in Uro Oncology, and 2014 to 2016 my master's in oncology at the same institution. So, and as soon as I finished my training, I became a urology assistant at that institution. And in the day zero, I have a agenda full of oncologic patients. For my beginning was easy because I didn't have at that time to chase the patients. because the patient was already there. And you could look at this and say, wow, it is great. But deep in my mind, in my feelings, I always knew that those patients were not mine. They were there not for me, but for the institution. And I was always worried about what if tomorrow I'm not here and it's over my career of oncology. So I always was, you know, a little bit I don't know what to say, incomodado in English, incomodado,
Uncomfortable.
yeah,
Disturbed.
disturbed, yeah, disturbed about the idea of being fully dependent of a big institution. And I always knew that I had to talk straight to the patients in order to get my independence. So after all of those years, I performed more than 2,500 surgeries at that institution. In 2017, I established my private clinic with my own team, a part of the Camargo Cancer Center. And in 2022, we started our program and fellowship program. I started to train my own fellowships in our group. And in 2024, this year, we expanded our clinic that is where I am right now. So now my strategy is in terms of digital content, educational videos, weekly podcasts, attending scientific events, and symposia organization. So number 2, digital revolution, my awakening, how I identify the importance of social media and medical in medicine, development of my skills over the last 10 years. So we have to back in 2014. Remember that when I started 2014, I was a young urologist and I have no private patients. I only have institutional patients. So in the morning, I was doing laparoscopy surgery with the residents and the fellows, and 2 periods of the week, I was in my private office, but no patients. No patients. Nobody knew me. And I started to produce, you know, write something and some articles, and I realized that I have to do more. So at the time, I was the youngest urologist of the team, and all the dirty work was made by me. Okay, I was the youngest. And in July 3rd, 2016, I published my first video. So let me show you the quality, the bad quality that it was. So no practice, just the willing of doing something, and you see the no production, just the willing of say you know, a message and educate my patients. And this is it. This is how it started. And then at that time, it wasn't so how can I say in English, but my colleagues didn't like the idea of putting your name, listing your name in the medical platforms like Dr. Alia, that is one of the most famous here in Brazil. So if you are a good doctor, if you are well trained, if you are, you know, experienced, you should not be in this kind of platform, because it would depreciate your, you know, your as a doctor. So I did it, and then I start to have patients, many patients, and in the end of each evaluation, I always ask the patient, so could you rate my you know, my assistants and a platform, and a lot of good feedback. So this is social validation. It's a kind of thing that other patients, potential patients, will see that people are talking about you. So, and that's a kind of alignment that is very good, because I was always worried about performing a good consultation, a very good consultation, because I knew that I had to do this because I wanna this social validation. So very nice. Patients love it. Google, all of you. And then I start to measure my results. So it's very important. Measure the number of consults, the number of visits in my website, and measure the growth. And my channel nowadays in the YouTube has 143,000 subscribers. And I never boosted, never put one single dime to boost this. It's completely organic. And this year I had in my channel over 5 million visualizations of the videos, mostly about the oncology. Blog posts in my website. And I continue to measure the results. The message here is knowing your audience. In the very beginning, I used to talk about general issues of urology, like balanoposthitis, HPV, and but as soon as my audience increased, I started to talk about topics of prostate cancer, BPH, and my audience became to change. You see, nowadays about 60% of my audience has more than 40 years. So it's a very targeted content. So it's very important to measure your results and realize if you are reaching the target for audience or not. So the message is you cannot improve what you can't measure. So very important. Do, measure, redo, measure, and do it again. So my third point is what is the best platform? So what is the best platform to distribute my digital content? Do I need to be present in all of them? The answer is yes and no. Yes, because you need to understand what format of communication each platform could give you. So if you are writing a blog post, you have more room to write about a very complex idea. But if you are on a platform like Instagram or like TikTok, you are catching attention. And YouTube, you could perform a lecture, 1 hour, 40 minutes. You can go deeper in a specific topic. And LinkedIn is more than a professional communication. You can use a more technical language. You can communicate more of your academic skills and so on. So all the platforms are important, and you need to understand what is the message that you're gonna deploy in each of them. So effective strategies: creation of educational content and audience engagement. So use a targeted advertising strategy. So what is effective? Content creation, audience engagement. This is very important because sometimes you are just talking or just writing, but if you never ask people to comment, to answer a question, a curiosity, so you're never gonna have engagement. You're never gonna know what your audience really wants. So it's very important. Just ask them. They will answer to you. And back then, doing all of this was very, very hard because you have to communicate, share, create, storytelling, marketing, experience. But with AI revolution, forget about all of this. This is easier than ever because you don't need to be a marketing expert. You don't need to be a professional copywriter. AI could help you with incredibly professionalism. And I'll give you some examples. So let me give you a practical example. So every day in the morning, I used to read my Uro Today newsletter. Follow many topics, especially in prostate cancer. So yesterday I read this article talking about improving the prostate cancer screening, utilizing the Stockholm tree genomic profiling and in conjunction with MRI, in order to avoid about 30% or 40% of unnecessary biopsies in Sweden. So it's a very technical issue, right? Okay, I thought it was very interesting to communicate with my audience about this, but how could I do this? A very specific topic. So I asked myself 4 questions. What is the level of awareness of my audience? So do I gonna post Do you know what is SPC, Stockholm 3 genomic profile? Nobody knows about that. Even many urologists doesn't know about this. How could you bring this topic if your audience doesn't even know what is important about prostate cancer, about the issues with PSA and so on? So you need to produce content targeted to the level of awareness, and this is a funnel of a marketing. So awareness, the people who doesn't know that has the problem, nor they know the solution. The second level is interest. People who actually know that they have a problem, like I have a weak stream. It's a problem. I know that, but I don't have any idea about what is the best treatment. The deepest level is decision. Decision is a person who actually have a weak stream and they are looking for different kind of treatments like green laser or Rezum. And they want to know a little bit more about these treatments. And the deepest level is action. It's a person who is looking for treatment of BPH with aquablation, treatment specialist in BPH with Rezum. So this is a different kind of content that you need to produce. So you should produce content targeted to all of these different level of awareness. So it's very important. So what I did, I convert this file in a PDF in my phone, in my iPhone, a PDF, and I uploaded the file to ChatGPT in my cell phone. And I developed 5 prompts. My first prompt here is in Portuguese, but it's explain in a very straightforward manner what is the most important aspect of the results of this study. So very good. Okay, I got the point. The second prompt is do a quiz in order to test the awareness of my audience. And this is the very important tip. I did a quiz. So does it really important to them? And I posted in my YouTube channel, asking them how many men with elevated PSA could avoid an MRI if they use new biomarkers like 4K score, PHI, or Stockholm trial. So you see the answers. 14 engagements in about half an hour, and people, okay, this is good. This is good. Let me explain to them. So I will record a video. So my third prompt is help me to record a video. Give me a script. I would like to have a script in order to shorten my time and thinking about what I'm gonna say to them. So ChatGPT gave me. I just tweaked some inconsistencies in the text, of course. And I uploaded this in my cell phone to captions, and the teleprompter just popped up in front of me, and I just hit record. Okay, 5 minutes recorded with the subtitles. Fourth, give me titles and the video descriptions to the video that I just recorded. Okay, and I uploaded the video to my YouTube. Okay, now that I have my video uploaded to the platform, I can ask you ChatGPT, listen to the video and help me write a blog post that is engaging and important to my audience. So this is what I did, the fifth prompt. Here's the blog post. Here you can see in my website. So just a second. 5, challenges and opportunities. So competition and the need for updates, reaching a diverse audience. So very important. So overcoming challenges. Stay current, of course. You need to be updated in your area. You need to study every week, every day. It's very important if you want to be a valuable source of information to your audience. Manage time effectively. So dedicated a specific time of your week to produce your content. Handle negative feedback. Sometimes People will not cheer you. You'll say, oh, this is bad content. Okay. But be nice with people. Be nice with people and produce a content that is relevant. And of course, maintain consistency. The other topic is ethical considerations, very important. Ethical aspects. So transparency, of course, very important. Always disclosure any conflicts of interest. In all of my videos, I start with a green screen as a disclaimer, telling them that this is not a medical consult. This is just educational content, and you should not start or stop any kind of treatment without inform your your doctor. So, and this relationship is not a medical and patient. So this is just informational, very important. Accurate information, of course, you have to produce content that is scientific based. Professional boundaries. In my country, professional boundaries are different than in Argentina and Venezuela and United States. And of course, patient privacy. In Brazil, we are not allowed to show up any single nail of patients, not a single part of the patient, because this is considered like a leg is a part of the patient. Doesn't matter. You cannot publish this. I look at the AUA website and I found a kind of small guideline about social media in the urologic community. So I found it very, very nice. If you are interested, you can go to reach this material through this QR code. And in Brazil, for the Brazilians that are here with us, we have the resolution of our federal council regulating the boundaries of medical publicity in our country. And remember, trust comes with truth. You have to construct a relationship of trust with your community, and then you must be truthful with them. So very important. Do not take shortcuts. 7, almost in the end, guys. Future trends. The use of artificial intelligence, augmented reality, and short videos. So this is where the digital media is heading. AI-powered chatbots. In the next year, the ChatGPT will deploy the agents that all of us will be able to have our own assistants that knows your data, that knows the way we write, the way we record a video, and we're gonna have a different kind of interaction with a mobile phone. We're gonna simply say the command, say to the machine, say to the AI, and the AI probably gonna execute all of it for you. So very important you learn how to handle and manage this new technology. Augmented reality, of course, very important. Short videos, master the art of catching attention with short videos with up to 60 seconds. And integration with telemedicine. So this is the future. 8, practical tips. How to start and balance your online presence. So first of all, first tip, choose your platform. So do not try to publish in all of them in the very beginning. So choose 1 or 2 platforms like YouTube, that what I recommend here in Brazil. Always monitor your analytics, develop a content strategy, and engage with your audience with authenticality. So in the end of my presentation, I could give you send you these books that I recommend. So storytelling, very important. These books help me very much. Copywriting, so important. Originals, Adam Grant, Jack Welch. It's about a businessman, a very successful businessman. How to take smart notes. Persuasion. This is a very good author. It's Seth Godin. This guy is a legend in the marketing. I strongly recommend. This is marketing. Twila Tharp, The Creative Habit. Twila Tharp did a very unique way of organizing her second brain in boxes, physical boxes. Very nice for those of you that are more analogics. Strongly recommend. Um, Warren Buffett biography, Snowball, Getting Things Done, David Allen, Google Ads, Weapons of Persuasion, Purple Call, and Tribes. Three books of Seth. Those three books from Seth Godin. This guy is very, very, very impressive. Look for references. In the United States, I don't know if you ever heard about Rena Malik. Rena Malik is a urologist that now has 2.1 million followers on YouTube, and she has a very unique way of communicate because she always talk about general urology, but always with scientific reference, and she has a very good rhetoric, communicates very well, and I think she is a very I would say successful media person in the urology community. So it's a very good work that Rina Malik does in the platform. So I strongly recommend. So start cheap, buy a gimbal. It's about $100, $150 a gimbal. Support your camera, your mobile phone. A cheap microphone, lavalier microphone, and use free applications in your mobile phone to engage your audience. This is a program called Inside Prostate, and that I project in a augmented reality way. You can take off layers of the human body and explain how prostate works and bladder works. It's very engaging and very educative to our patients. Look at this video. I published this video a couple of months ago, and it went viral here in Brazil. I've got 1.5 million of visualizations in this video, where I just took my camera, my cell phone, and I project the model, the 3D model with augmented reality, and I recorded the screen of my cell phone, and just explaining to my audience what is the prostate, what is prostate cancer, and this video was a hit, very, very impressive, and many of my colleagues, urologists, congratulated me for the videos because they received this video from their own patients. Oh, look, doctor, look this video. So very nice. This is free. You can download it and produce a very good educational content to your audience. So let me advance a little bit. So look at this. Look at the quality of this model. Very impressive. This is a print screen of my cell phone. So I have Trello, Instagram, Miro, and I use this program called Bazart to do my thumbnails for the videos, Video Leap for editing in my cell phone. So 95% of everything that I produce, I do it with my mobile phone. 95%. 95%. Very easy, very straightforward, and no timing. Trello is a very good platform. I could talk 1 hour about Trello because I use Trello to organize my personal life. I use Trello to organize. This is my second brain, okay? I use to organize my surgeries. I use to organize my digital content, the media that I'm going to record, and Trello is very important. And look at this. Trello is like a Canva that you can create many different cards, and each card is a different task. So you got the idea. And Miro is the program that I'm using that I use to produce my educational content. Like this presentation, I use Miro. It's a kind of Canva that you copy and paste videos, photos, ideas, and you do a brainstorm. In the end of it, you blend it in a single lecture. So very nice, very good to produce content to your audience. And when you get more advanced and you have a lot of audience and you have a content, and it makes sense for some investing in a more sophisticated studio. This is my studio here in my office downstairs. I have a studio for podcasts. So twice a week, I receive colleagues here. I'm a host of the program, and I receive colleagues for many different areas of urology and the other specialties to talk about topics that are relevant to our patients. So here is Dr. Denis Jardim, is a very prestigious oncologist here in Brazil. Here is Dr. Guilherme Vacareza, our endocrinologist here in the clinic. So we are very active. And if you get here, you should learn to use this program called OBS. This is a program for editing. So in order to record the podcast, and you don't have to make a post-production. After you record, the podcast is complete. The video podcast is completely done. You just upload it, and you can construct different scenes, and you can switch between scenes in order to be more attractive to your audience. So my closing remarks is a message about the importance of innovating while maintaining excellence in patient care. So thank you very much to the audience, and I'm very open to your questions. And my final thought is, always remember, the basis is the patient-centric approach. So produce content that is relevant in the long term to your patients. Continuous learning, so be curious all the time, trying to learn a different ability, especially with AI. Maintain professionalism. Remember, you are a doctor. You are a doctor. You are not an artist. You are a doctor. And one, embrace technology. It's very integrated in your medical practice. So my 10 topics to my final thoughts. One, importance of digital presence. Adapt to the digital age to reach more patients. Two, use digital platforms. Explore Google, Facebook, Instagram to expand your reach. Telemedicine. Integrate new methods of care to facilitate contact with patients. Organization methods. Use tools like getting things done to manage your time, your tasks. Measuring results. Evaluate the impact of your content to adjust your strategies. 6, medical excellence. Prioritize the quality of care while keeping a focus on the traditional medical career. 7, innovation with artificial intelligence. Integrate AI to optimize care and communication. 8, storytelling. Using storytelling techniques to engage your audience. 9, networking with peers. Connect with other professionals to share experience and learn. And then, small steps, big results. Start with what you have without major investments, focusing on your continuous evolution. So thank you, Dr. Sotelo, and for all of you that stayed with me until now. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Bruno, great talk. Impressive. Solid, ethic. I love it. I'm really impressed.
Thank you, Dr.
I'm really impressed. I love it because it's exactly what I think so about digital, about the ethics, about this. It's not dancing. It's not how to really compete, how to create more information that is important for patients, that is useful. And nowadays it's very difficult because there's many information going out.
There is a phrase that I always say, sorry for that, but my final phrase is, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Exactly. It's important to demonstrate, obviously, that you care, that is authentic. There is no interest in giving all this content. And it's important. There are different ways when you see these urologists from... My question is, how difficult is to... You explained that you was first general topics and then came to talk about more oncology. Sometimes it's not that attractive to talk about penile cancer. It's more attractive to talk about premature ejaculation, ED, implants, and obviously they get the attention. How you go from finding general topics and then when it's time to start going to more specific topics?
Well, very good question. My point is, you remember when I talked about the levels of awareness. So if you have a very good message, but you don't have audience, you have people to listen to you, it doesn't matter because people are not interested. So the algorithms only gonna recognize your content as relevant if people are watching it. So first of all, you need to have a channel, a structure that is relevant to the platform. That is why I've learned in that fourth book about SEO tactics that I needed to grow an audience. So using these very popular topics like ED, like premature ejaculation that you said, it's a very good strategy in order to build, a small audience. And you can perform a strategy of an inbound marketing. Inside of this, you can construct your authority. But I have to admit that when I decided to change the strategy, I saw a drop in the visualization. So that is what strategy is important, because if you are only chasing the visualizations, the likes, you are not running for the long term, because you're never going to construct your authority. You're never going to construct your authority in a specific topic. So that's the point. And I remember the time, the moments that I decided, no, from now I'm just going to talk about what I love to do. This is oncology, it's BPH, and I'm going to be the best source of information of this topic for people in YouTube. And I thought nobody gonna listen to this, but I was wrong. I was wrong. People engaged even more, and nowadays the production of content is it's for me, it makes part of my practice. So sometimes last week I saw a patient, a young patient, 47 years, prostate cancer, metastatic prostate cancer, de novo metastatic disease. And it was a very, very tough case. And I ordered a genetic test, and I decided, okay, let's share the history of this patient. So I take this real patient and create a storytelling to connect with the audience. And what was my message? Talking about the importance of genetic profiling in metastatic de novo hormone sensitive prostate cancer. This is the point. That was the message. So, but if I record a video, do you know about BRCA1 and BRCA2? Do you know about microsatellite instability? Do you know that you got the point? So you need to create a connection, because people need to see themselves and identify themselves with the story. So very important.
About testimonial with patients, uh, how you can do that in Brazil? There's
No,
any
I
limits?
can't. I can't.
No,
I can't record with a patient talking about me, about results. I can't. But it is allowed that the
wow.
patient by himself goes in the platform and say good things about you. It's
But
okay.
but he cannot do a video talking about what
No,
he have done.
no,
No. Wow.
it's not allowed. No, it's not allowed. You can't do this. We know that some colleagues do this, but other colleagues say, "Hey, this guy are doing wrong." So, and like
Obviously.
it's not it's not a very
No, we do it in US. It's not illegal, but even of course they need to disclose that they agree to do it and they're doing it by themselves. I think sometimes it's impactful when a patient by himself explain what he had, not necessarily talking about you. You're not making a video of him talking about you. You're talking about a video about a patient talking about what happened, how he got diagnosed. Patient that now don't, for example, you amputate his penis, and he explains why it happened and how it happened. I think it's very impactful because that's the best storytelling. No, but obviously it's a ethic thing that you have to be very careful that it's
yeah,
balanced.
yeah.
It's not to promote you; it's to explain what happened.
Yeah. I try not to go through this way, even though it could be more impactful, of course, because you have a patient talking. But I'm afraid to get too much attention in this way, and the other urologists say, "Hey, you are doing self-promotion. Hey, you have to be very careful about it." Here in Brazil, it's very complicated because, sometimes your colleague doesn't like you. You see your growth, and you have to very,
Yeah,
very,
yeah,
very.
that happened obviously, but important that's create the content. And then I saw at the end that you mentioned about Facebook. Initially, also it's important that still a very important platform, and also for audience more than 50 years old, still a very important platform. What is your opinion about Facebook?
Yes, completely agree with you. In Brazil, most of the 50 plus audience is staying in Facebook, use Facebook as their main platform. I agree, but frankly, I use YouTube as my main source of production. Every content that I produce, I aim to YouTube, and I take this content and spread in the other platforms in a short form, like a short video or text. But I agree with you. Facebook is still very relevant, especially here in Brazil. It's very relevant.
And obvious your own web, because at some point you never know what's going to happen in those platforms. You need to keep your own channel, your own web well solid and with all the information, not necessarily
Yes.
only those channels. But how you keep that in your web? Because sometimes you need to redirect them from your web to YouTube, or because it's very heavy to keep still videos directly in your web. How you do that?
No, it's easy actually. I manage my own website. My
Okay.
website, I use a platform called Wix. I don't know if you have Wix in US, probably yes, but it's a very easy
Yes.
platform. It's like building a PowerPoint. So I paid for a person to build the whole website, but every time that I need to make, any tweaks in the site, change something, it's very easy, like just log in and change. And the videos, actually, they are not stored in the website. I just, how can I say, direct the link. I just copy and paste the link in the blog post, and the platform automatically shows up the thumbnail of the video. And so it's very, very light process for storing information. So very, very easy. So the point is, when you have the method of produce the content, and you spend a lot of some time making standardizations of your thumbnail, of your footnotes, your content. So it becomes more very straightforward. It's
Yeah,
I can
it has to be a easy way that you can keep it updated. It cannot be a whole production. That
Yeah,
if you need a person to keep the maintenance of the web and all that, it's too much time and it's too
yeah,
much
and,
production
and costly, and of
and
course,
costly, obviously. And you need to find a way that is you do it effectively, and you do it cheaper, and you do it on time.
yeah. You have a question? We have a question, Mrs. Golena.
Yeah. Hi, Dr. Nice meeting you. Great talk. Amazing. I'm very engaging. Two things. One is I really want to know, how do you target your strategies to approach a specific group of age and diseases, specifically going to which type of platform do you use for the patients? That's one question. The second one is that I work with implementation science and also with some education for physicians and patients. And I've been facing that we get to, the attention of the patients, but then we lose them in the middle of the intervention. So, how do you keep them engaged? I noticed that you were mentioning something about the strategy of a good storytelling, but is there anything more about, I don't know, in your videos about movement, lights, colors that may engage those patients?
Perfect. So your first question is about targeting audience. So but I do focus pretty much more in the content and not the audience. Let me explain. So if I'm talking about BPH and about prostate cancer, naturally, this is a kind of topics that naturally people 40 plus will look for. So this is how I target. So I don't produce a specific talk for reach 65 plus. So BPH and prostate cancer, this is, more than 60% of my patients have more than 50, my audience has more than 50 years. So I don't do that. And I don't do paid traffic. I did it some, couple of years ago, but I don't do it anymore. But when I did, I use one simple filter that is 50 plus in the platform in the Instagram. And so this is how I do this kind of segmentation. And your second question is about engagement in the video. So I don't think that I mastered the complete the technique of engaging, because when I analyze the data of my video, my retention goes up to 2.5, 3.5 minutes. What is really, really good for YouTube. Remember, most of the people stay in front of the same content about 30 seconds. So 4.5 minutes is very good, but I would like that the patients stay for a long period of time watching the video. But what I do, and could be a very practical tip to you, is in the beginning of the video, you say, hey, if you are interested in a specific topic of this video, you can jump right into your topic, the interest topic, clicking in the summary below in the description of the video. Timeline. So ChatGPT it could automate this process very easily. You just take the link of the video and paste in a ChatGPT with the paid version of ChatGPT, and say to ChatGPT, so put the timestamps, and you just copy and paste in the description of your video in a YouTube. So you're gonna have a timeline. And in the very beginning of your video, you just say, hey, you don't need to watch all of this. You can jump right into the topic and the moment in the video that you want. So it's a very practical way. And when I start to do this, I realized that my retention increased.
Thanks for the answer. And one last question. And that one is about patient advocacy with you and your group. Do you have any kind of feedback from your patients or anybody from your audience before posting?
I don't think I got your idea. The question is, could you please repeat your I don't get your question.
Patients or helpers that see your content before posting them, where they can advise you that they were understanding, that the language was adequate, or if that's come from you and then you post.
Yes. I get a lot of this feedback from patients and caregivers, and most of the time I use this information to drive my decision about what kind of content I'm going to share. This is very important, but frankly, I don't drive my decision of posting by this. Nowadays, I just do one thing, two things actually. I read my newsletters about prostate cancer, kidney cancer, bladder cancer, everything that is new and updated, and I try to explain to my patients. This is my main source of information. I say that I'm a medical translator. I'm a good scientific reader, and I want to be a good communicator. I want to be this bridge between the science and the general public. And the second point is source of information for my videos are real cases. So sometimes I see a patient, I found the case very interesting, and that could produce educational content from the case, and I just go there and share. So it's a very fluid and natural process of recording. I don't prepare that much for the recording. I think this is my point for you. The recording doesn't need to be shine and bright. You just be informative in a good language, so and genuine and truthful. So this is my point.
Thank you again. Great talk.
Thank you.
Well, I think we have already 1 hour.
I have 2 questions. Do I
Okay,
have
Anna.
time?
Yeah, Anna, let's do it quickly.
Okay. Thank you very much for your impressive lecture. You are a doctor, but also you are a marketing person. And those are my 2 questions. First of all, I'm studying Make, the app, to interrelate all the platform. Have you used it, or do you have any other that you can suggest for interrelate and automatize the platform's results?
Yes, I use here in Brazil. Have I don't use that much because most of my publications I share from my blog post. So when I finish to write a blog post, okay, imagine a situation. I record the video. This is my workflow. Okay, I get the content, I get the idea, I test it, I record a video. When I record a video, I upload it to the YouTube, and this is practically done because AI could help me with everything else. So when I transform the video in a blog post in my platform of my website that hosts my website, I have the button of sharing that content in all of my platforms. So my website has this feature of sharing in LinkedIn, in sharing in Instagram, Facebook, embedded in my website. So I do not use any specific app for that, but I got to your point. And in Brazil, people use the M Labs. They integrate most of their content and publish automatically in many platforms. M Labs. But I don't use it in my practice. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And my last question is, you began saying that the patient's behavior has changed. From these 10 years of your experience, what would be your next steps doing what you are doing in terms of marketing to go through this change of behavior from patients? What would be your next steps?
Yeah, very, very good question. So 2 strategies. The first strategy is building professional, how can I say, professional authority to be a host of my show. Now I'm inviting, and Dr. Sotelo, you are already invited to, when you come to São Paulo, to be here with me and to bring very thoughtful and people who will bring a lot of good information to my audience. So I want to be that host, person who get other specialists in the show. Okay, this is one strategy. So building more authority. So this is a good one. So the second point in my assistance is using AI to listen the patient, the visit, the consultation, to listen the consultation real time, in order that I don't have to type anything in the end of the consult. So this is AI that I'm using right now in order to only stay with the patient, only talking with the patients, no keyboards. And I think this will be the future. So you went you finish the consultation and say, okay, now order a CAT scan, order labs for the control of bladder cancer after the first cycle of BCG. So AI knows what is the protocol, what is the kind of path that your patient is going to follow, and will help you with this, bureaucracy that all of us face in our clinical practice. So I think this is the future.
Thank you very much, Dr. Benigno.
Okay, Bruno, again, thank you. I think it was a very interesting and brainstorming session. Always, as you know, I have a podcast, and basically I agree with you. I don't like to talk about topics that it's not my expertise. I always invite people, even in urology, I bring the experts. I think that's very important for credibility, that you should not be talking about things that you're not your expertise area. And I love the idea of translating. I think that's very important. There's a very important gap between Spanish and English information for patients. And also I imagine in Portuguese also that translating and updating or people is very important. Well, we're going to keep in touch. This is only the beginning. Okay.
Okay, Dr. Sotelo, thank you so much for all of you guys. Thank you so much.
No, my pleasure. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
So,
Thanks.
Mrs. Galvin, please, when you have the